Good morning, dear students and participants. Today we are going to discuss about the Department of Psychology. It is very important topic. It is deals with the foundations of psychology, that is the first semester of UG, and also it is also useful for this PG first year psychology students, principles of psychology. The topic of today is very important, the nervous system and structure and functions. Before going to discuss about this topic, what is psychology and what is the nervous system, what is behavior, these kind of things will be happen before whatever we know the psychology, that depends on the health. Health is nothing but the mental health and physical health. In the physical health part, we need to know about the topic. This is very important, the system, the nervous system and structure and functions. In this regard, we are invited a very important person and very eminent person, that the Dr. THIRUP. He is from Karimnagar, assistant professor, Department of Botany. Also he was completed his psychology NET and SET, also completed his education. So he was the very good educationist. The three subjects will teach regularly. So we are invited for this session. So Dr. Tirupati, so what is nervous system and what is the structure of functions? How we can devise these functions? So how it relates to the behavior? You can teach, you can discuss about the nervous system, total nervous system.
Okay. Thank you, Narasimlu sir, for inviting me. This is Dr. Padala Tirupati, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, SRR Government Arts and Science College, Karimnagar. Now, today we are going to discuss about the nervous system, structure and function. It is nothing but the body language of neurons. We know that our body consists or contains the controls the body by the nervous system. In our body, nervous system again divides into the two important sectors, that is central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. It is nothing but the complex network of nerves and cells that carry messages throughout the body, and also it controls, coordinates body function, responses and the cognition. So this is the control over by the nervous system. Again it divides central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous, I am showing here the central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. The beautiful images we are observed here. The central nervous system contains the brain and spinal cord. Brain, it is surrounded by the important the skull, that is nothing but cranium, and also it is surrounded by meninges. So along with this brain, the spinal cord is also most important structure in nervous system. So brain contains 12 nerves and the spinal cord as spine contains the 31 pairs of the nerves. So it is control over the entire metabolic activities and physiological functions of the body from the external environment and the control inside the body. The nervous system majorly divides into two nervous system, that is central nervous system CNS and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system contains two major parts, that is brain and spinal cord, which we are already discussed in previously, and peripheral nervous system contains the somatic nervous system, also it is the voluntary control, and the another one of the peripheral nervous system, that is autonomic nervous system, it is involuntary control. So this is the major parts we are observed in our nervous system. The central nervous system, brain and spinal cord, which we are receive sensory information and generates thoughts, emotions and store memories. Peripheral nervous system includes axons and nerves. They originate the brain and spinal cord, then flow out the body into limbs and organs. Its job to both receive the information and sent to the different parts in the nervous system, that is brain and spinal cord. Now, I am showing here the structure of the brain. It divides into major parts, that is the cerebrum, cerebellum, brainstem and lobes of the brain. Cerebrum, it is the major part of the brain. Higher functions like thinking, learning, emotions, feelings, these are controlled by cerebrum. It is majority of the major part of the brain. And cerebellum, it is the second part of the brain. It controls the balance of the body and posture of the body, the control and coordination by the cerebellum. And brainstem, it is regulates heartbeat and also the breathing, reflexes. The last one, lobes of the brain, frontal lobes contains frontal lobes and parietal lobes, temporal lobes and occipital lobes. These are the observed in the brain. And the second major part of the central nervous system, that is spinal cord. The spinal cord, it is a connecting link between brain and body. Spine or spinal cord, it is the connecting link between the brain and body. It is protected by vertebrate and meninges and cerebrospinal fluid. The spinal cord transmits nerve impulse and from the brain to the body.
Yeah, Dr. Tirupati garu, you said the brain structure and central nervous system. So, what is the somatic and the automatic nervous system? It will be reflect on the brain and this nervous system. So, what is the role of that somatic and automatic nervous system?
Yeah, Narasimlu sir, what we are going to explain here, the somatic and autonomic nervous system, it is nothing in the part of the peripheral nervous system. It is acted as a major role for the control over the body from the external influences and also the reflex. Somatic nervous system, it is controls the involuntary movements or voluntary movements, and autonomic nervous system controls or uncontrolled these involuntary movements. The somatic nervous system allows the muscle and skeletal actions, and it is what enables us to kick the ball and raise our hand, and also sense external stimuli such as the presence of a raindrop of our arm and temperature of the water. And the autonomic nervous system is mostly involuntary. It regulates homeostasis in the body by controlling heart rate, digestion system and pupil dilation and breathing capacity, etc. And these nervous system, sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system, it is in the part of autonomic nervous system. So, these structures of the nervous system is frequently discussed, examined within holistic view of health. Some herbalists like the Michael Moore use their understanding of these two systems as a major influence on how they practice herbalism. The sympathetic nervous system functions are increase the pupil dilation, allow better vision further away and increased lung capacity, increased heart rate, allow more blood flow or the muscle resting. The increased strength and quicker movements we are observed in the sympathetic nervous system, and slower digestion by diverting blood from the digestive tract and inhibition paralysis. And here we are observed here the sympathetic nervous system is nothing but flight and fight. That is nothing but defending by ourselves, whether we are fighting against the or in front of any organism, or even though flight, that means we can escape from the external influence or the reflex arc. Then parasympathetic nervous system or parasympathetic, we are observed, we are resting position or rest and digest. So, that is the sympathetic and parasympathetic. Here the parasympathetic nervous system functions we are observed, this is quite differ from the sympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system functions are pupil constriction, so slower heart rate, increased energy in the digestive tract, and increased secretion such as saliva in our mouth. So this is the functions, major functions of the parasympathetic nervous system. I am showing here the major difference of our body. What are the functions, major functions of the parasympathetic nervous system? What are the major functions of the sympathetic nervous system? We are observed the entire image of this slide. Now I am going to explain about the flow chart of the nervous system, that is central nervous system, then peripheral nervous system, then peripheral nervous system, sympathetic or somatic or autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system again divided into sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. What Narasimha sir has asked about the major functions of the autonomic nervous system or sympathetic or parasympathetic nervous system, we are observed here sympathetic nervous system, which is increase the metabolic activities or metabolic rates or physiological functions of the body, but whereas in parasympathetic nervous system which decreases the body functions or physiological functions or metabolic activities of our body. Now we are going to discuss about the major functions of the nervous system. I am showing here the nervous system, functions of the nervous system. Number one, sensory input, that means receives the information from the external stimuli or external stimuli by the using of sensory organs. We know that 5 sensory organs in our body: eyes, skin, nose and the tongue. These are the major sensory organs which is useful for the receives the information, that is sensory input.
Dr. Tirupati garu, while we studying the psychology, it is very important to know about the perception.
Yes.
In perception part, if we know about the functions of the nervous system, you said that organs, sensory organs, if that sensory organs are very perfect, we can perceive very keenly, that observation will be effect on our behavior and as well as that effects on the others behavior also. So how we can correlate with these functions of the nervous system with the behavior and perception?
Yes, Dr. Narasimha sir garu, what you asked about the perception and the importance of the nervous system, because of the without sensory organs there is no receive the information from the external stimuli. So by using of the sensory organs, we are imagine, we are expectation, we are already retrieve the information from our brain, left hemisphere and right hemisphere. These are using for the conversation or the response very frequently or very easily. So due to this reason, the perception is very easily perceive the information, and also by using of the sensory organs the imaginary power is also increased. And the next important function of this nervous system is integration. Integration means the different sensory organs receive the information and also the response is also integration by the using of this nervous system. And the motor output, the response by activating muscle and glands, that is motor output. Homeostasis is nothing but maintaining the balance of the body by using of this nervous system. And mental activities, that is nothing but the thought process, memorization and retrieve the memory and also the restoring of the information, that is nothing but mental activity. Now we are going to discuss about the majority of these entire functions under controlled by neurons. Neurons are nothing but structural and functional units of the nervous system. So every neuron or each neuron or nervous cell, neuron is nothing but nervous cell, it contains different parts. They are number one, the cyton. Cyton is nothing but body of the neuron. The second one is dendrites. Dendrites are nothing but receive the signals receives the signals, majority of the neurons contains monodendrites or duodendrites or didendrites, but our human beings are multidendrites neurons. Then cell body or the cyton contains nucleus. Along with this nucleons, most important granules that we can call as Nissl granules. So these Nissl granules are useful for the retrieve the information or receive the information. And the third part of the neuron is axon. Axon is very long structure or the large structure of the body of the neuron, and it is useful for transmit the signals. The last one is synapse. Synapse is nothing but the communication between two neurons or the other neurons, and these neurons are again classified into three types, that is sensory neurons, motor neurons and interneurons. So this is the structure of the neuron. The clearly we are discussed here. The first one is the cyton, that is nothing but body of the neuron. The hair-like structures which we are observed in the neuron or nerve cell, that is nothing but dendrites. It is a multi-dendrite neuron, and the large structure that we can call as myelin sheathed axon. Then last one is axon terminals. This is the structure, entire structure of the neuron or nervous cell. It is, we can also call as structural and functional unit of the nervous system. And the neurotransmitters and synapses also we can going to discuss here, that is the chemical messengers transmitting signals between neurons. For examples of the neurotransmitters are dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine. These are the best examples of the neurotransmitters. It is nothing but, these are nothing but the chemical messengers which we are transmitting signals between different neurons. And the major role of these neurotransmitters are a role in mood, memory and motor control. I am showing here different neurotransmitters that are the adrenaline and the noradrenaline, endorphin, acetylcholine, histamine, dopamine, GABA, serotonin. These are the different neurotransmitters which are useful for number one, adrenaline. It is the major, the most important neurotransmitter which is useful for the fight and flight against the enemies or against the other persons, or whether we can fight or whether we can defend in front of our human beings or in front of other persons, or we can, if we are unable to fight the persons, we can escape from the situation by the using of this adrenaline. And second one is noradrenaline. It is nothing, it is useful for attention and focus. What we are listening in the classroom, what we are attending in the classroom, or in the about the new information retrieving from the our brain. The endorphins, it is very important neurotransmitter useful for the pain management. When we are facing huge amount of the pain, the endorphins are used for releasing the pain or the control the pain, or nothing but the management of the pain. And acetylcholine, it is useful for in our brain for memory and learning. And histamine for immune and protective. And dopamine, it is important in our human behavior. And GABA, very important neurotransmitter for motor control, how our limbs, our organs, our hands and legs control our different body organs controlled by the GABA. And serotonin for claiming and sleeping. It is useful for the releasing of the stress releasing whenever we are going to sleep in a sleeping condition, and memory, mood and relaxation mood. These are the important neurotransmitters.
Thank you, Dr. Tirupati garu. Then what about this nervous system disorders? About previously you said some of the chemical balancing, imbalance, some of the dopamine, GABA, like that. So how we can balancing them, with this neurotransmitters and this nervous system.
Yes, Dr. Narasimlu sir, what you told, the major problems we are facing of these due to the excessive release or the what we can say that the low quantity of these the neurotransmitters, we are going to facing some of the disorders which are related to neurological disorders or nervous system disorders. I am showing here different disorders. Number 1, Parkinson disease, Alzheimer's disease, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, stroke. These are the disorders which we are facing due to the insufficient release of these neurotransmitters, or even though the excess release of these neurotransmitters, these type of nervous system disorders we are facing: Parkinson disease, Alzheimer's, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis and strokes. I am showing here some of the symptoms, signs of the nervous system dysfunction often includes: number 1, headache, loss of a feeling of tingling, and even the weakness, a loss of muscle strength, and sudden loss of sight or double vision or blurred vision, even though the memory loss. We are facing in Alzheimer's disease, so many people or so many old age people, they are facing this memory loss due to the low release of the neurotransmitters and the dysfunction of the different neurotransmitters and sleep issues. Some of the people, they are facing insomnia. Insomnia means the loss of sleeping, or they are not sufficient sleep we are facing due to this the neurotransmitters, and impaired mental ability. So mental ability, it is a very huge topic, and lack of coordination. Without coordination, our body does not move from one place to another place. Why? Because the coordination from the brain and spine, from the our motor, means that muscle, without coordination, we are, even though we are not discussing even single word, then muscle rigidity or spasm and the cramping, and tremors and seizures and pain of any type of, including the back pain, the other pains, and then muscle wasting and slurred speech.
Really fantastic, Dr. Tirupati garu. So how it relates to neurological symptoms? Recently we observed, we are already involved previously before and after COVID. So how it will affect on COVID effect in this nervous system like this?
It is a good question, Dr. Narasimlu sir. Why? Because we are facing, or we are already faced the COVID pandemic situation. So many young lives, they lost their valuable lives due to the loss of confidence level, and also the neurological problems. Why? Because the neurological symptoms are associated with the COVID-19. I am showing the one slide here, that is neuropathy, seizures, strokes, encephalopathy, and the Guillain-Barré syndrome, that is also we can call as GBS, and muscle weakness or the myoglia, and fatigue. Some of the younger people, they are unable to lift even little weight, that is a fatigue, due to the fatigue, and dizziness and the vertigo, loss of smell and taste. Loss of smell and taste is also one of the symptoms we are observed in the COVID-19 pandemic situation. Majority of the people, younger people to older people, they are facing headache problem. So these are some of the neurological symptoms are associated with this COVID-19 pandemic situation. So due to that cause, some of the people, they are loss of their confidence and lost their valuable lives.
Thank you, Dr. Tirupati garu. Today we are discussed about the nervous system. The nervous system is a crucial role for survival, controlling our all bodily functions, and today we are already discussed previously the nervous system, the brain function, the spinal cord. In brain function we are already discussed two things, that is spinal cord and brain. Then after that we are already Dr. Tirupati explained about the neurotransmitters that will affect on the brain and nervous system. In that one we are already known about the factors the influenced by the nervous system, including this chemical balancing and imbalancing, the like that gamma, some of the chemical reactions will be happen. This proper nutrition in conclusion we need to know about the prevention, the proper nutrition will be needed, and proper exercise will be needed every time, every day, day to day life, and mental activities will be the must and should. The support of a healthy nervous system for the functions of the all behaviors, and future research aims to the understand the treat neurological disorders better. It is very important to us the regular diet, the exercise, nutrition and mental activities will be help for the better nervous system and the brain functioning of the a person or individual. It will leads to the good behavior for future running of our daily lives, and as well as self evaluation and self motivation and self confidence. It is also useful for the society also. Thank you very much for this opportunity.